Well, let's begin. Heels touching, tongue on the roof of the mouth, tip of the tongue just touching the teeth. Start at the feet. Quietly feel the sensations in the feet and ask the feet just to spread and soften. As they do, take in the outside of the edge of the foot until your feet feel nice and squishy and on the ground, not held and hard, open and wide, allowing the weight of the body to simply pass through and land in the outside edge of the foot. So how you hold your body changes where the weight lands in your feet. We want the weight to land in the outside edges of the feet, the heel and the ball equally. Draw up from there, right through to the center of the chest, the back of the neck, the crown of the head. Let the arms hang with their weight, released, and then let the whole body soften. And unwrinkle the brow, let the brow spread. Tiny muscles around the eyes. When the cheeks soften and relax, it'll put the cheeks lift slightly as they relax, and there's a small smile or beginning of a smile. The throat feels open, the chest feels open, the back feels wide. Because what we're doing is we're relaxing in a way that drops the muscles bind and hold onto the bone. And what we're doing is we're softening those muscles so there's more width to the body, sideways, frontways, and back. All the flesh falls off the bones, a small amount, but it feels quite a big sensation. We feel like the chest is widening, the back around the hips is widening, the thighs feel like they're filling. Even the fingers, as we relax the muscles around the arm and the hands, the fingers feel like they're filling. You could say there's more flow of blood to the fingers. You could also say the muscles are softening around the bones. We just rest simply with the weight of the body pressing into the feet with as much releasing as possible. We begin opening into our last stance. We try to maintain this quality of letting go while the structure of the body supports us. We continue with a release. So when we lift up, we're active. When we release, we're actively letting go. Timing the movement, so the finish of the movement is the finish of the full releasing of the muscles. In coming up, I'm not changing the alignment of the body. In going down, I'm not changing the alignment of the body. So the foot pressure stays the same. A small activation of the legs to the top and a small release in the legs. Of course, the legs include the ankles, the knees, and the hip joints and the lower back. So all these joints have to change shape to enable me to concertina down into a lower position. I come up and I'm concertinaing upwards. All the joints change because the muscles soften around the joints. And the ankles, the knees, and the hip joints and the lower back all soften together and adjust together to let my center of gravity come straight down over the feet. So it's like you're jacking up the center of gravity, opening up, and then it's like you're letting it go back down. And the concertina, I think of like a piano accordion, if you like, a vertical piano accordion. Every single fold of paper in the piano accordion is opening up, and every single fold of paper is changing as it comes back down. And that's what the ankles, knees, hip joints and lower back are like. These joints in the body, in the legs in particular, change as we move. And we make adjustments so the force of weight of the body can travel through to the feet. We come up and we release. We're releasing the whole way down. We bring that into exercise number 2. We come up. 4 swings of the arms to come down. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 swings of the arms to come up. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Coming down. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And concertinaing up from the legs. 1, 2, 3, and 4. In the movement, the alignment stays the same. The alignment of the spine from the head through to the perineum, through to the ground, stays exactly the same. What we're doing is we're jacking up the center of gravity with the concertinaing of the legs, and we're allowing the center of gravity back down. So from the top, releasing the legs to create the movement. 1. Continue releasing. 2, 3, and 4. And coming up, jack the legs up. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Aim to have a continuous release. So the releasing down is a 25% on the first drop of the arms, continues into the 25 to 50 in the second, 50 to 75 in the third, and 75 to 100 in the fourth. What I mean is that there's an even dropping. Don't do half of the drop on the first swing of the arms. Try and modify your movement so just a quarter of your sinking takes place on the first drop of the arms, the second quarter of your sinking on the lifting, the third quarter of your sinking on the third, and the last quarter on the fourth. And it's really common to go down too far and to get the ankles tight. Really common. What you want to try and make sure is the amount you drop is really small. Big changes in the muscles, but small movement. The movement up and down is only an inch. Movement up and down is only an inch. I'm going to look at your movement. Okay, take a pause, please. I'm just going to explain the movement of the arm. The movements of the arm are to open the arm out as if this is running along my arm. The shoulder doesn't go upwards. The hand doesn't go upwards. From the shoulder, it opens out. The elbow opens out from the shoulder, taking this part of the hand with it. So I get this movement to a long, opened out feeling, like a scarf that's stretched right the way around. See, my arms are straight here. They're not bent. The hands don't get higher than the elbows. Now the elbows drop on the way down because the shoulders are releasing, and it looks like the hands are higher than the elbows, but it's not. It's that the elbows have dropped. It's not that the hands lift. So the movement is this, and then the shoulder girdle releases, and that causes the movement of the arm. The chest opens and the shoulders open, and that causes the movement of the arm. This area closes, the shoulders come in, I want to see as much movement as you can in the shoulders, because the shoulder movement controls, see, look at my hand, look at this hand turning. This turning creates the movement in the arm. It doesn't come from here. This is the shoulder still and the hand moving, right? This is the shoulder still and the hand moving. This is the shoulder moving and the elbow moving with it and the hand moving as a result. So what we want is big open movements of the chest. And I don't mind if they're a bit exaggerated, just so you can get to feel what it feels like to get your shoulder and chest really opening. And then we can modify it and make it a little bit smaller and more Taiji really, rather than gross movements, but big movements that open the arms right out and continue to open the arm right out and then draw in. The arms are always long, so the weight of the arm is given up the whole time. And all I'm doing is opening up the arm and releasing the arm. The weight of the arm is given up. I'm not trying to control it with the hands. I'm trying to feel into the body to make the movements happen. So while you're focusing on the arms, it's quite difficult to also focus on what the legs are doing. Okay, guaranteed that if you try and micromanage what the shoulders are doing, you will lose a focus on what the body is doing. So we want the body habits to be, over time, the body gets used to moving up and down smoothly, and then we can focus on the arm movements without it interfering with the leg movements. And for those with more experience of this exercise, you monitor both the arms and the changes in the feet, ankles, knees, hips, and lower back. So the whole body is working together, not just one part doing one thing and another part doing something else. Okay, so when the arm drops, the shoulder does the movement. When the arm drops, the shoulder drops and does the movement, not the hands. This is why we say open up with the palms down. Open up with the palms down rather than the palms this way. Open up, because what people do when they sit back and roll back is they lift their hand palm up. This isn't the same as the loosening it. The loosening exercise, palm down, as if we're bowling, as if we're bowling. Palm down, as if we're bowling. Palm down here, palm down, palm down, palm down. Good, good. So try and remember what you're trying to do, and then translate that into telling the body to do it. Telling your muscles to make your arm move in a particular way, and feel what that feels like. Okay, so it's not just something you remember to do once, it's actually a body sensation that you get familiar with. How your arm moves is a body sensation that you want to become very familiar with. Ensure that when you're opening up the arms, you're coming to the front, not to the side, because this will tighten up the shoulder as you lift the arm. The further to the side you go, the tighter your shoulder blade will be, and the less movement there will be, less freedom of movement there will be in the shoulder blade. Exercise number 2. Exercise number 3, please. Oh, before we do, if you have any comments, thoughts, or things you notice when you do exercise number 2, just shout them out. Let me know. If you think it's important, let me know. Same with number 3. Number 3, we turn. Turning involves a sinking. Every time you move, release to the ground. Turn. I'm looking for support on this leg. So I'm looking for support on this leg. The opposite hip is coming forwards. That hand comes out exactly the same way from the shoulder. Same way as the beginning of the form, from the shoulder. This time, instead of coming out to the corner, it's coming out straight. But because I'm turning, it arrives on the center line. And I keep my head forwards. So if I didn't turn, my hands would come out like this in line with my shoulders. But because I'm turning, my hand comes out, and as I turn, it comes across. So now my hand is on the center line. So it's coming to the center line. When I finish turning and sinking, the hand is at the top. When I turn back, the shoulder pulls the hand in. When I sink to the opposite foot, the hand drops. The other hip goes forward and the hand comes out onto the center line. Once you've got the pattern of the move accurate, once you're really clear where you're moving toward, where your center of gravity is moving towards, and you can blend the turning with it, and you can coordinate the arm, once you've got the pattern of the movement accurate and the timing of the movement accurate, then you can start to look for the quality of smooth movement and the movement being led by the center. So the center movement and the sinking to the foot keeps you nice and stable. We want to first get the pattern of the movement right. Because I've taught this exercise many, many times, and then, even 6 months in, people are still swinging on the wrong foot. That's common because it's not an obvious movement. Sinking onto the opposite leg is not an opposite movement. But if you think about playing tennis, where you would turn and strike and get the power from the front leg, this is sinking onto the front leg while you strike. And the other side sinking onto the front leg while you strike. This is the cross alignment we want in this exercise. Once you got the pattern right, sinking to stabilize as you turn. Releasing to stabilize as you turn. They say 80% of your focus should be on what the base does. 80%, it's a big amount. 80% of your focus is on the base, feeling the sensations of the base. Because if the base is doing the work, the upper body follows. Okay? If the base is working smoothly, there's a chance the upper body will work smoothly. If the base is feeling nice and grounded and stable, there's a chance the upper body will feel relaxed on top of it and nice and stable. If you're moving and your base is all over the place, or you're pulling yourself out of alignment, or you're feeling tight in the ankles, or you're feeling unstable, then your movement won't translate through to the hands. That move, whatever you do in the base, will translate through to the hands. So 80% focus is on the base, which is great because most of the time, correct me if I'm wrong, but most of the time we're in our heads, thinking about things, being busy, doing, organizing. And what we're doing is we're dropping our mind into our body, lower down. The brain is in the head, but the nervous system runs right through the whole body. And it's like we have a brain right through the whole body. We want to start feeling the sensations through the whole body. This is what Taiji does for us so well. Okay. This movement we've just done is third loosening exercise. The weight goes to the right foot and I turn. Means that the right hip joint is folding. The right hip joint is folding, just like a book. The hip joint is closing and folding. So this hip joint here, when I turn this way, is folding. You can feel if you put your flat of your hand on the hip joint and you move, turning, you can feel that hip joint getting folding. And the result is that the other hip joint opens like a book opens. So we've got these two areas of the body, the inguinal areas, or the qua in Chinese. One folds and the other opens, and they change across. So while I'm turning this way, this one folds and this one opens. When I turn back, this one folds and this one opens. So the movement in the hips is encouraged by the softening of the tissue, softening of the muscles that allows for folding. Okay, if the muscles through here are holding too tightly, it's very difficult to fold, and as a result, the lack of mobility will pull my skeleton out of alignment. But when the muscles around the bones are really soft, like you can put your fingers deep into that crease, when the muscles are soft, the skeleton can move freely and maintain its alignments because it's adjusting. If this is locked to some degree and there's less movement through here, then as I try and move, it will cause my feet to move on the ground and pull me out of alignment. So we keep a very soft, seated quality of the hip joints as we do loosening exercise number 3. With 80% focus on the hips and legs. Enables me to pick up any tension or any holding or any stiffness as I feel it. And as I feel it, I'm softening. And the clue will be, if you soften well, your weight will feel to sink towards the foot and you'll feel more stable. You'll feel more stable when you soften. So we've got a feedback mechanism. We know if we're holding on because we're not stable. We feel tight, like we're standing on a ball bearing. We're kind of like, well, what we want to be is standing on a mountain. So we're nice and soft, got a big broad base under the foot. Foot's nice and squashy to receive our weight, not we're walking on stone or something. So with that, let's take some of those ideas into the form. Embrace tiger, return to mountain. The hands, it's a bow stance with the right foot forwards. The right foot is forward, the back foot out, slightly out to the corner. If you see my feet, it's a bow stance. My hips and my right foot facing 4:30 in the form, 4:30. My right arm is parallel to my thigh. So the right arm, this line of the right forearm and the line of the thigh are parallel. You see, it's not like that and it's not like that. They're parallel. Sound like Tommy Cooper, Get Fez, and then I can do it properly. Parallel. The fingers on the center line. This hand is resting. Remember, the push position is resting with a nice straight arm. There's no break in the wrist, there's no bend, and there's no lateral movement. A nice straight resting arm. These fingers are on the center line too. So the hands are in this position. This is very similar to the position we finished after the kick last week. We turn to this position, where the fingers are on the center line. One hand down at 45 degrees, one hand up at 45 degrees. Same position as Embrace Tiger Return to Mountain, but in Embrace Tiger Return to Mountain, we're in bow stance. After the kick, all the weight is on the back leg of the right leg, 100% on the right back. Just to kind of like frame it. So, Embrace Tiger Return to Mountain, right leg forwards, hips facing forwards, right arm low, left arm high. The next movement that we do is a very small turn clockwise, very small turn clockwise. This is exactly the same as the third loosening exercise. The movement comes from softening the hip joint to allow the hips to turn. And I'm turning as far as I can while remaining grounded in the front leg. I'm staying in the center. I'm not moving forwards, but more of my connection is shifting to the front leg and I'm folding the front hip joint. Just want us to practice that little movement because that movement must come from releasing, sinking and softening, not pushing myself into position, not moving into position, but releasing into position. Very different quality. Remember, I talk about the quality of taking a hot bath after a long day's work. That is the quality we want that moves me towards a corner. It's like a boat moving out gently onto a lake. It's not a push. It's not an activation of the contracted muscles to make my body move. It's a release downwards, combined with a turning and the spiraling feel. So in that movement, I maintain my grounding in the front leg. Let's practice. Turn to the corner. Turn back, the hands turn over. Hands finish turning over as I'm square again. So I start square, I turn to the corner, I turn back, and my hands are square. I draw back, now my weight's in the left foot. Turn the hips to turn the arm. Palm down, turn back and fold. Square, drop into both legs. Small expansion of the back knee into the press. Draw back. Hands separate while I'm sinking and coming forwards. Sinking into both feet. Small expansion of the back knee to push. Let the arms become parallel and level with the ground and draw back. Now I'm on the left foot before I turn. The turning comes from the center. Let the hands follow the turning. Make sure when you turn you don't dislodge or disrupt the knee and the stability in your left leg. Left leg sinks and stays stable. Right leg sinks and stays stable. Turn, pull up the left arm. Slide in the left foot. Step out to the corner. Single. In the form, Embrace Tiger Return to Mountain is facing 4:30. Initiate the movement by softening into the front leg. Similar to the third loosening exercise, initiate the movement by softening into the front leg. Allow your weight to sink and stabilize and the hips to turn. 80% of your focus in the base. If you do that movement with the center of the body turning, your shoulders and arms will naturally follow. If you turn back and your hips turn, your shoulders turn, your hands will turn. Draw back. When you turn, hold your left arm so it's nice and supported. So when you turn the waist, the arm is part of that movement. When you turn back, palm down. When you turn back, it's part of that movement. As you sink forwards, your body relaxes, your left arm drops into the press position. Small expansion from your back knee to press. Draw back your right arm underneath, your left arm on top. Your hands separate because your shoulders soften and sink and drop the elbows as you come forward to push. Small expansion to push. Draw back, the hands level off and become parallel. Turn the waist. Turn the waist. Turn the waist. Single whip. Have a practice, please. That section. Embrace tiger. Roll back. Press. Push. Single whip. Then after that, we will go through the form from cross hands, including that section. So we're just going over some detail with the quality principles, and then we'll go through the form, taking in this section. Okay, take a break, please. Little detail, little detail. Following on from what I was talking about before with the loosening exercise and the movement of the arms, the hands only move if the shoulder's moving. The hand is like the end of a silk scarf, the tip of the scarf. The middle of the scarf has to change in order for the rest of the tip to follow the movement. One end of the scarf is the feet and the ground, the other end is the tip of the scarf or a whip, the tip of the whip. It does not move independently. So when we go into single whip, we don't push the hand out. We don't push the hand out. We don't use the muscles of the arm to push the hand out. The arm is in this position. I'm sinking and turning the body. The shoulder follows. It sinks and turns. That turns the hand over. This movement of going into single whip comes about because the hips are turning. The hips are turning. The shoulder sinking. The elbow sinking following the shoulder. It's as if the hand that was here is being drawn around something. It's as if the hand is stroking or a big thick paintbrush. Think of these as bristles of a paintbrush, and the hand is being drawn into position by the sinking, by the turning of the shoulder, and by the sinking of the shoulder. The sinking of the shoulder, sinking of the base, turning into position. Finally, once we're connected and fully in the center and released and pressed onto the ground, there's a small expansion from the base through to the hands. Don't push the hand out when this expansion comes through. The expansion is a small expansion of the back knee, a small opening of the back knee. The foot pushes into the ground, the back knee opens, and the hand extends. The movement of the hand is no more than 3 centimeters. It's just going out 3 centimeters or an inch. Okay, so the movement into single whip is turn and come into the center. Wait until your back knee expands. Follow it through into a very slight reaching out. It's a feeling reaching out with your hand. Now, it feels like nothing. Okay, it feels like nothing. When you come to do partner work, or we'll do work against the wall, this little expansion is the whole body expanding from the floor right through to the hand. You don't want to add your muscle contraction into that movement because your partner will feel the strength in your arm. Muscle contraction means we can't change very quickly. So your arm wants to stay soft and the force of the structure comes through, not the musculature. This is what pushes someone with soft elastic force, not physical movement. So we don't want to train physical movement. We want to train movement coming right through the whole body. That starts on the floor, creeps into the knee opens, the back knee opens, the front hip softens, the upper body releases, and the force comes through to the hands. It's like a bubble going through your body, bubble of force, going like a bubble going through water. Every part of your body needs to change to allow that force to ride through. Otherwise, it gets blocked at the part of your body that doesn't change. More of an intermediate level practice, but we stop that happening by getting rid of doing too much, letting the body simply relax and connect and be stable and organized and structured, then allows forces to pass through it. Go from cross hands. Feet parallel, weight 50-50. Nice big round circle in the arms with a left on the inside, right on the outside, height of the throat, shoulder girdle relaxed, elbows relaxed, just enough weight in the arms to hold them in place. Sink to the right foot. As you finish your turn, your hands are up. Turn and lift the left arm. Sit away from the right as you fold in the left, turning the body onto the left foot. Slide in the right toes. Step out with the heel. Glide into the posture of embrace tiger, return to mountain. Follow on. Roll back. Press. Connect in the center. Push from the ground. Single whip. Single whip faces 10:30. Step. Move in. Square the hips, softening the shoulder, let the hand turn over, small expansion through the body to the fingertips like you're reaching out. Draw back to the right foot, downward to mortal, flat sleeves, turn clockwise, turn anti-clockwise, step to 10:30, sink onto the right foot, turn and jab, height of the throat with the fingers at the lap, nice straight arm with the left. Punch under elbow. All the weight 100% in the right foot out to 10:30. Knuckle of the right touching the elbow, punch under elbow. Step back to repulse monkey, turning. Hand drops to the hip, keep turning, palm down, turn back. Left hand turns over, step, sit straight back. Grounded, finished, upright, relaxed. Turn back. 100% weight in the left, step right, sit straight back. Wait until you're fully established in the back foot. Turn open, turn back, step. Fully established in the left foot, 100%. Turn the hips to move the left arm. Turn the hips back to folding the left arm. Step right. When you step, the thigh is vertical, just the toes down. Sit straight back. Turn open. Turn back. Step. Sit straight back. Fully established in the left. Fully established means organized, aligned, released, upright, no weight in the right foot. Finish. Turn open. Last one on the left. Turn back. Turn to the 10:30. Drop the hands across the center of the body as you're sinking. Step behind. Into the center. Small expansion from the back knee through into the movement of diagonal flying. Facing 1:30. Move on to the right foot, turning, sinking. Left heel comes off the ground all the way to 100% in the right foot. Change hands, step out, waving hands like fans. As you move to the foot, turn and sink. Establish your connection in the foot, change hands, step. Sink, change hands and step. Turn, sink, change hands and step. Turn, sink, change hands and step. Last one. Open out the left toes. As you move on to the left foot, bring in the right toes. So now your feet are both facing the same direction to 10:30. Keep moving on to the left foot. Hands turn over. The hands are going to drop as you turn back. So now my hips are facing about 9 o'clock. I'm going to turn them back to the front, dropping the hands and swing the hands and the foot through at the same time. Move into the 50-50 and expand to the back of the wrist. Single whip facing 9 o'clock. You can adjust always when we get to single whip. You can adjust, make sure you've definitely got shoulder width. Make sure you're centrally stable. You're not over the front or the back foot. You're right in the middle. Both hips are facing forwards. The body is upright. And the accuracy of the sinking of the shoulders and the positioning of the arms. Snake creeps down. Turn open the back toes. Turn open the back heel. Long in the left arm. Turn and draw in the left arm. Sink down and open up the front foot. Coming, scooping through with the left fingers. Draw back to the right foot. Open the left toes. Hop onto the left foot. Turn back to face 9 o'clock. Golden rooster stands on that leg. Step behind. Sit away from the right fingers. Turn. Left shoulder, right hand. Turn back to 9 o'clock. Golden rooster stands on right back. Turn to the corner. Step behind. Scoop up with the right hand and sit away from the right hand. In this position, I'm facing 10:30. That's the direction I'm going to separate right foot towards 10:30. All my weight is in the left. My left hand is on the hip joint. My right hand in push position. Turn open, bring in the toes of the right. Turn back, bring in the heel. Cross hands. The right palm towards me on the outside, the left palm away from me on the inside. Turn again. The hands turn over, both palm down with the right hand underneath. Drop the hands over a ball, forearms vertical. Sink, drop the forearms. Pick up the knee, push out the toe. Separate right foot. Relax. Walk towards 10:30. Halfway through the step, turn to 9:00. Swing through as you move your weight onto the right foot. Lift both arms. Bring in the left heel together. Turn open. Turn back. Facing 7:30. Cross hands. Palms touching. Left on the outside palm towards you, right on the inside palm away. Turn again. Palms turn, palm down with the left underneath. Turn back, the left slides out. Forearms vertical. Pick up the left knee. Separate left foot, relax. Swing to the right. Step behind. Round you go. When you get to this position, you're facing 3:00. The right hand has come round on the outside. Both hands are facing you. The palms are facing you. At the height of the throat, same as cross hands. Turn. The hands turn over. Now they're both away from you and you're facing 6:00. Your right hand is on the inside. Your left hand on the outside. Both palms away from you. Turn back. The forearms drop vertically. Pick up the knee, kick with heel, turn, release. All the weight 100% on the right foot. Brush left knee twister. Facing 3:00. Just do a time check. Good. I want to go over that move in a bit more revision way. Are there any questions or anything in that you want to ask about before we do? Got about 10 minutes left. Okay, let's go over it together. Have a look first. I need a bit more. I need to change my screen. I'll do it facing you. I'll do it facing you. Separate left foot. As the toe goes out, my hands are parallel to the ground. Together. Together. Remember, the arms are long. They're not. The elbows have got a span distance, so the shoulders are dropped. The hands are like paddles. There's no movement in them. They're this way or this way. They're straight and they're parallel with the ground, not dropped. So they drop from being vertical. They feel like they're opening out rather than just moving as a hinge. So in this movement, the shoulder is part of that movement as well, rather than just the hinge of the elbow. The whole relax of the shoulder girdle dropped helps stabilize me. If I don't drop the shoulder girdle, I'm holding it up and I'm unbalanced. Drop the shoulder girdle to help push your weight onto the ground, give you stability. Stability comes from releasing, not from holding on. Separate left foot. Relax. You can start your turn to the right with a small turn to the left. So you've got this sort of movement. See, my arms are following the movement of the waist. So I separate, relax, turn to the right, step behind, and immediately drop some weight into the back foot, turn the front toes in, and follow that movement by coming round into the right foot. So if I do that facing away from me, separate, left, relax. Turn to the right, step behind. Where you put your foot's important. Turn, come round. Now I might just need to move my foot outwards slightly with the last little bit turning. All the weight in the back foot, turn open. Here the hands are crossed, facing me, they turn over. Like a little bit of sticky between the wrists and they just stay together. Like I'm holding like I'm just holding something there between the wrists and it just stays there like a coin or something in there. Yeah, that movement. That comes with turning. So I'm now facing 3 o'clock. I turn back to face 6 o'clock. As I turn back, my forearms drop vertical. Pick up the knee, this time kick with heel. And turn and relax. Turn back to 3 o'clock. So I'll just lay it out for you. When I kick with heel, my right foot that's got all the weight in it is facing 4:30. My waist is facing 4:30. My right arm is going to 6 o'clock. My left arm is going to 3 o'clock. My kick is going to 3 o'clock. So my hands are at 90 degrees. 6 o'clock with the right, 3 o'clock with the left. The kick is to 3 o'clock. Relax. Here, I turn my waist back to 3 o'clock. So I finish in this position, finish in this resting position, facing 3 o'clock. My right foot hasn't changed, but after the kick, a turn. That turning brings in my right side of my body to this position. Brush left knee twister, same as we've done before, facing 3 o'clock. Let's do that move together. In the form, kick will go through, we'll go from golden rooster stands on right leg. We're facing 9 o'clock. The right foot is facing 10:30. All the weight is in the right. Pick up the left knee in the left hand. Turn to the corner. Turn to the same direction as the foot, the right foot, 10:30. Right hand turns palm up. Step behind, scoop up the center with the fingers of the right. Sit away from the right hand. All the weight in the back foot. Turn open. Turn back. Turn open. Both palms down. Right underneath. Right slides out. Vertical forearms. Separate right foot. Relax. Walk forwards. Turn. Lift. Bring in the left foot. No weight in the left foot. Now I'm facing 7:30. Turn open. Turn back. Turn, lift the hands slightly. The left is underneath, both palms down. Turn back. Forearms vertical. Separate left foot. Relax. Turn to the right. Step behind with the ball of the left foot. Round we go to face 3 o'clock. Relax. Stabilize. The hands are crossed. Both hands at the height of the throat. Left on the inside. Turn to 6 o'clock. The hands turn over. Turn back. Forearms drop vertically. Pick up the knee. Kick with heel. Release and turn back to 3 o'clock. Left hand up at 45 degrees. Right hand down 45 degrees. Same position as embrace tiger return to mountain, but now all the weight's on the right foot. Turn open. Brush left knee. Twist up. So I haven't done a new move this week. because those moves are fairly complicated, I wanted to give you a really good chance to get used to them and ground them. To be honest, there's absolutely no rush in Tai Chi to get through the form. What's important is what the form shows you about how you hold on, shows you about letting go, shows you about your alignment, your releasing, and your mind quality of staying present and calm with the moves. Eventually, we'll get to the end of the form. There's no point rushing it because it just ends up being too superficial. We want the depth of practice as we go through it. Next week, though, we'll do a new move. Brush left knee, right step. So brush left knee. Brush right knee to a step is the opposite of that next week, and bend and punch. So we do a couple of new moves next week. So see if you can get those kicks organized in your head, where they go, what the hands are doing. A little bit this week's a little bit technical, getting everything in the right place. But once we've got it kind of grounded, we can move on then. Yeah, we can move on. So what I'm trying to do is give a little bit of the accuracy of the form, but also a little bit of the quality of it as well as we go through it. Yeah, good. Have a really good week, and thank you very much. And we'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.